because they have supported us in the counties, and we work very, very closely with the county governments as Athletics Kenya, and so it would be very important to hear their remarks. So I will ask you to come down here in the meantime, and because we have got enough seats here, so that when Professor Ongeri finishes, then you can give your remarks before I eventually give mine and invite the other guests. So Professor Ongeri, tafadhali kuja sema jambo na upeane history kidogo tu ile ya mwaka hizo. Asante sana.
Thank you, General Tuwei, for this very kind invitation to attend the 70th anniversary celebrations of Athletics Kenya. Well, as you have already seen, I was one of the, at that time were called chairman of athletics, because the word president was changed. And the only person who was the president of the Republic of Kenya. This stadium, where you are seated here, used to be a barren field. And one of the efforts we put in place was to put up a facility for Athletics Kenya. And therefore, we missed out the 1976 Olympic Games. We missed out the 1980 Olympic Games. I requested President Moi that the money that would have used to go to the Olympics, that money should be put to develop this stadium. And indeed, he agreed, and we appointed a private architect, Nyancha and Associates from Limuru. We built the perimeter fence that you see here today. That perimeter fence cost us 2.5 million Kenya shillings, and it's still standing today, so many years later. We built up this presidential pavilion. We didn't have enough money to cover the Russian side, the eastern side, and the southern side, and the northern side. But during the 20th anniversary celebrations of our independence, I again made a request, and we were given money to complete this whole stadium the way it stands. Before 1984, we went to China, and the president was able to negotiate the Kasarani complex as it stands today. And this was in tribute to all our athletes. Today I'm excited because I've seen familiar faces, familiar names that were blessing the track and field at that time. I see Rose Muyatata, I see Ruth Waidera, I see Mary Jemweno, I see Charles Asati, I see Ezekiel Nyamao, I see, well, of course, Robert Houko left us, and Julius Sang. I've seen Dr. Kipchoge Keino, and I have a story for him, because when we went for the Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh in 1970, I was a team doctor. One of the problems, he was threatened not to run on track and field because they feared that if he ran, he was going to clear all the medals. But he had to withstand that threat and courageously stepped into the track, and he blazed the track like I've never seen before. Not to mention the quartet, the Olympic quartet of Julius Sang, Ezekiel Nyamao, Robert Ouko, and Charles Asati. I see the two of them here, and Naftali Temu. Mayoro was my uncle, so I started learning the ropes of athletics from my youth at the time when he was running in Vancouver. So I took that spirit from there. What has happened today is that, Madam Sears, one of the big dreams we had was that after building the Nyao Stadium, we'll be able to go out and be able to build up stadia of a similar magnitude to tap the talents from the grassroots. and also move fast enough to create high-altitude training centers like in Embu, in Kiganjo, in Nyahururu, and Iten. And those dreams, I'm sure, are still valid, and they have not gone out of our focus. I want to also say, despite the fact that we lost out on major Olympic participation in 1976 in Montreal, we went there and we had to come back because we were boycotting those games. In 1970, I want to pay special tribute to Henry Rono, because when we went to Tunis for our Africa Games, athletics games, he was able thereafter to break 4 world records in a succession within a short span of time. That to me was the biggest joy and the big motivation for our Athletics Kenya at that moment, because he was a champion of champions at that time. Not to forget Mike Boyd, Professor Mike Boyd is here, and he knows the tribulations we went through. And of course, Kipchoge Keino, who is a legend on our track field. And today, for me, it was like homecoming. Coming to this Nyayo Stadium, and that's how we christened it. It was homecoming, and to see the celebrations going on. And General Tuwe, I've been watching you from the sidelines. Although I'm your trustee in Athletics Kenya, I've been watching you from your sidelines, and I'm quite proud of the kind of work you are doing today to be able to bring up the Athletics Kenya to the standard where it is today, the international arena. I thank you and congratulations all the athletes, and may God give you more years to live and celebrate another 70 years hereafter. God bless you.
Thank you, Professor, for those kind words. Let me now ask our sponsor, John Mwaura, to give a few remarks, and then we continue from there.
The Cabinet Secretary for Sports and Culture, Dr. Mina Mohammed, athletics officials present, all the distinguished guests, the elite athletes who are here, and the current athletes, good afternoon. I'll keep my remarks very short. For us, it's an honor to be part of the celebrations as athletics turns 70. For Lotto, most of you do not know this, but the reason Lotto is in this country is because of the one and only Dr. Kipchoge Keino. When our investors were making a pitch, they wanted to prioritize South Africa, and he's actually the one who made a case for them to come to Kenya. And he said one of the things that we need to focus on was athletics. And 5 years on, we have honored that promise. We are the title sponsors of the cross country, Cast Marathon, different amateur sports that in track and field. And it has been a journey that we hope we will continue with Athletics Kenya. My challenge to you is, as you turn 5 years from now, I'm hoping as we honor the next athletes, the next bunch of athletes, that we will include the Special Olympics teams, that they will be part of the celebrations that we have, because they will, I think today we focused very much on the legends, but I'm hoping the next phase that we're going to expand our horizons and honor everyone who has taken part in track and field. So thank you so much, and I hope we continue working this journey together. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Allow me now to invite Major General Ahmed, who is representing the Chief of Defense Forces, General Kiboji, to come and give her remarks. And as she comes, I believe you all know that she has also broken a record, because So she's a record holder because she is the first female in the military to have attained the rank of a Major General. So, Fatuma, karibu.
Madam Cabinet Secretary, all distinguished guests, our dear athletes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm elated. I'm happy to be here, and on behalf of the Chief of Defense Forces and all the military fraternity, I bring you greetings and thank you, sir, for the invitation. And also thank you. I acknowledge that we walked this journey of growing athletes in the military a long time ago when you are the chairperson of Armed Forces Amateur Athletics Association. Madam, I'd also want to extend our appreciation for the strong partnership that exists between the AK and the Defense Forces Sports Control Board, and specifically Athletics Kenya Defense Forces. I know the officials, including the chairman, are present here today. Madam, I'm also happy to see most of the athletes that when I was active in sports management, we were interacting and I learned a lot from them. So it's very, very uplifting to see all of you. And personally, I would like to wish you the very best. Madam, I do not wish to take a lot of time. It's just, I'm so happy that I've been given this opportunity to stand here before you. It has caught me by surprise. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for turning up in large numbers for us to honor our athletes for the 70 years that they've continued to create new positioning for Kenya so that we stand out globally when it comes to matters athletics, and giving us the opportunity to strengthen our friendship through sports. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, General. We now go to the next step, and we will invite the governors to come and give their remarks. And allow me to start with Governor Mandago, the governor of Uasin-Gishu, who has always supported us in a lot of ways. Your Excellency, the governor.
Thank you very much. Our Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, the President of AK, Major General Ahmed, Professor Ongeri, the Senator for Kisii, who I think on this occasion is sitting here as the team doctor for Athletics Kenya at 70. Your Excellency, the Governor for Nyeri, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity first to congratulate AK for putting together this very wonderful event of celebrating our athletes who have made a serious contribution to this country through sports. They have brought a lot of fame and glory to the nation, and we appreciate and we want to thank you very much and congratulate you. And Mr. President, we want to say thank you very much. This is a very wonderful event and the first of its kind. In counties, we really appreciate the partnership we have with AK, and we want to thank you for your leadership. Madam Waziri, 3 institutions that have stood out also in nurturing sports in this country: the National Defense, KDF, has done very well, the National Police Service Commission, the Kenya prisons, then schools and colleges. I think in counties, we are beginning to come up. We don't want to say we are doing much, but we are committed to make sure that we improve our sport facilities in our counties so that we can nurture talent and also have future athletes. I also want to thank the immediate former president, the late Isaiah Kiplagat. For the 23 years he served, I think that is the time he stabilized AK to be what it is. And thank you very much, General, for taking it to the next level. You have the support of county governments. Our chair for sports at the Council of Governors, Professor Chepkwony, who is not with us, sent me with his apologies. But he says we shall continue working together. Waziri, this is not the day today to say so many other things about what we are doing in the facilities, but I want to thank your ministry and yourself for being very active, and we appreciate when we see you going around inspecting the stadiums and making sure that those contractors who are not working are actually removed from our sites so that we get working contractors. I'm happy to note that in my county, you are already working on discharging a very lazy contractor there so that we're able to deliver Kipchoge Keino within the next 18 months. You have my unwavering support on that. Na akijaribu kukwama, unaweza nipatia kazi ya kuondoa yeye, whether peacefully or otherwise, so that we can complete that stadium. Otherwise, to our athletes, we want to congratulate you. Asanteni sana, congratulations. We wish you well. You are a great honor to this country. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Governor Mandago, and thank you for the partnership that we have had for all this time. Now, those of you who don't know, the governor from Nyeri, Your Excellency Mutahi Kahiga, he is actually one of us. He is within the family. He is the Secretary General of Central Region, and he still holds that position up to today. Apart from being the governor, he is actually within. So please come and salamia your colleagues and give them a word of advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our chief guests, Ambassador Amina, Senator Ongeri, Daktari, His Excellency Mandago, all the protocols and the heroes that we have here, good afternoon. Yes, I am indeed very, very happy to be here. And this is not an occasion I was going to miss, because for long I have always held that this country must honor its heroes. These are the heroes who have put Kenya on the world map, and we want to give special tribute to those men and women who have nurtured Athletics Kenya to what it is today, and handed it over to a very able president who is running it professionally among all other sports associations in this country. Having said that, we want to recognize that, yes, this was the right direction to take, especially where we have now reached out to the athletes. As I was interacting with the majority of ourselves, I have learned that AK is working towards a pension scheme for the athletes. There is nothing better than that could happen to our athletes, because whether we want it or not, athletics lives but for a short time, and then you have to move on to something else. And so we want to encourage Lotto and other sponsors, Safaricom and others, that even as we sponsor the athletic AK, let us also look at this other pension aspect for our athletes. Some of us know that even as you compete, it is possible to get injured, and you move from now the category we call the normal people or ourselves, and you become a PWD. These are things that happen, and so I want to really appreciate that this is happening. And Athletics Kenya and the Kenya government and ourselves in the counties should all work together, especially to ensure that we start off this matter. Even if it means fundraising, let us start somewhere and begin moving. So having said that, I am extremely glad to be in the presence of such greatness. As I grew up, I watched Kipchoge Keino running and practicing in Kenya Police College. I also was able to see Naftali Temu. I was also able to see the hurdler called Kimaru Songok, and I'm glad there is a son here. Ours is just to appreciate and to say they that laid the foundation, the Kipkrugats that laid the foundation, we are building on the same. As counties, we pledge to work together with you. Me and Mandagor are working very closely, and we appreciate that it is time Athletics Kenya engaged the Council of Governors. Some of the governors don't understand these things. And it is important that they are engaged to understand the value, because you can sit and be blaming them, and they will ask, why would Mandago give 400 million to a Kenyan team instead of doing roads? They may not understand. And so I want to invite the president and his team, through our chair, Governor Kericho, Professor Chepkwon, to engage with us when we have the meeting so that they can understand and see how we can work. Having said that, Madam, I want to appreciate the good work you are doing, especially with the stadiums, like my brother Mandago has said. Nyeri Rorengo Stadium is now off the ground. We can see progress, and we commit that we shall do our part to ensure that we help the president achieve that agenda. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you and to commit that we will walk this journey together. God bless you so very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Governor Nyeri. Tusichoke. I think this is our day. This is actually your day. So I know we have taken a bit of time, but I think it is very important that we listen to these comments. And so allow me to ask Dr. Kipchoge Keino to represent all the athletes and say Jambo. It's good to say Jambo and one word. So that at least all the retired athletes, because he was also, you are all aware that he was also the president of National Olympic Committee for quite some time. He was a very renowned athlete. He is the only athlete who has been honored in the whole world with a special gift during the Rio Olympics in 2016, when 3 billion citizens of the world were watching. He is the only one. So please come and say Jambo.
Our chief guest, Minister for Sports, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Mine is going to be one or two words. I'd like to thank the President of Athletic Kenya for hosting us today with this very important event. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya have come a long way. We have come a long way. We were running with no shoes, and we had no uniform. Today, Kenyan, we have so important uniform, we are so important athletes of this world. I would like to thank our government for giving us all the opportunities to be able to perform and take the flag of this country to be seen worldwide. I personally, I can see somebody who we started running with no shoes, John Belchen, and he's around somewhere. That man, we started, there were no training area. The training area was Kenya Institute of Administration, Kule Kabete, and other places were nowhere. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like all of us to have a unity and plan for the youth of this country. And our counties, let us sit down and see facilities in the counties where we can be able to tap the talent in those areas. We have a lot. Our school doesn't have playing ground. Those are the things we need to plan and see where we can be having a swimming pool in one of our high school, basketball, tennis court. Should not be only running, should be other sports so that we can be able to win more medals. The President, thank you so much for hosting us today to be able to sit down. I personally just arrived now, and I must say thank you, because I went to see where the Standard Chartered is going to give assistance to the youths of 7 counties. And those counties have to have something to eat, have to have something to be able to training and plan for next year Olympic Games. Ladies and gentlemen, not to sit down, let us put our head together and plan for next year. We have a lot to do. You have a lot to do. Not only Athletic Kenya, let us put other federations. Those federations can be able to come home with medals. Paralympic, boxing, rugby, taekwondo, boxing, cycling. Those are the things we need to do. In our own home, we have children, and those children are going to perform for themselves, for this country. I personally, I don't have a lot. I must say thank you. I've traveled a lot, and I've seen we have the best country, and I've seen we have the best youth. So how can we utilize this youth to be able to perform? It is entirely to us. And we have to talk to farm those who have something. First and foremost, Lotto, and we used to have charity sweepstakes. We used to have Jandaria, and I'm very sorry for Jandaria. He had a problem. Some people went to his place. Jandaria used to be our sponsors. KD Wire, Pipeline, all these firms will let us sit down together and be able to sponsor the youth in our counties. A farm can come out and say we are sponsoring the youths on basketball, the youths on volleyball. So this is a thing, through your ministry, we can plan and do the best for this country. So ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. We can be able to produce the best world record holders. In 1965, I was the first African to break under 4 minute mile and 2 world records. So, and running no shoes, no kids. So I wish you all the best, ladies and gentlemen. My manager sometime was Dr. Ongeri. Dr. Ongeri was my doctor, and he was able to give me advice. So those advice, I'm happy to see you, Dr. Ongeri, coming in, and let us go to the county to advise the counties through your Senate. What is our investment? Kenya, we had a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Daktari. And I would now like to, because I wrote some remarks here, please allow me to read what I have written before I invite the next speaker, so that we can make progress with our program. So today, for lack of a better word, is simply a special day for the athletics family. And ladies and gentlemen, you are staring at the history of athletics since 1950. I know it's not easy to gather these legends in one forum, and therefore we do not take it for granted. It is that rare opportunity that comes once in a lifetime. We would have loved to have a bigger number, but unfortunately, some of the legends could not come for various reasons, while others have already left us, and may their souls rest in eternal peace. These are the men and women who laid the foundation stone of athletics in this country. We are lucky to have the man who won the first ever medal for Kenya, Wilson Kiprugut, among us here. We are also honored to have others, including former National Olympic Committee President Dr. Kipchoge Keino, Amos Biwott, whom we have been told is the first who won the Olympic gold medal in steeplechase, Charles Asati, you have seen them, Ezekiel Nyamau, among many others, who are part and parcel of the country's athletics history. You are aware that the ladies were not left behind. And the reason why our girls are doing well presently, and when I say presently, it includes the latest in Doha last year, where women had more medals than men, is because we had pioneers like Sabina Chabichi, Elizabeth Chesire, Lydia Stevens, and Tegla Jema Boaisang, who proved that women too are up to the challenge. Today, as we celebrate 70 years of athletics excellence, it is worth noting that we have made giant leaps in as far as development of sport is concerned. Within this period, a lot has changed, and it is no longer business as usual. Technology and training methods have also changed, and perhaps it is more difficult to be an athlete in this era than it was when these men and women used to run for passion. As you know, the main challenge that we have today is doping as one of the latest hurdles. And you will agree with me that modern day athletes have to stay on the fast lane and get acquainted with the latest technology. The same applies to administrators, not only athletes. As AK, we have come a long way, and I want to sincerely thank those before us for setting the ball rolling. From Sir Aji Evans, who laid the structures of Kenya Amateur Athletics Association in 1950 and ensured we had a home at Nyayo Stadium, to the first chairman, Sir Derek Eskin, in 1950 to 1964. I want to say a big thank you to them. Of course, not forgetting the subsequent chairman, Musembi Mbathi, from 1964 to 1968, who was the first African chairman, Bartonje Rotich, 1968 to 1972, Charles Mukora, 1972 to 1974, Professor Sam Ongeri, 1974 to 1984, Paul Boyd, 1984 to 1992, and most recently, Isaiah Kiblagat, 1992 to 2015, who equally ensured that the Federation stones remained firm over the years. It is the Englishman, R.G. Evans, who donated this piece of land where Nyayo Stadium, as Professor Ongeri said, later gave this stadium as well as the Federation's present headquarters at Riyadh House. Over the years, athletics has become the #1 sport in the country's sporting history. We have seen a lot of achievements in terms of world records, world titles, Olympic medals, and generally other major achievements within the circles. I'm sure you have seen in the documentary when that was running, and you have heard from the host mouths themselves who are here. We thank you for sparing your time to travel from your homes and join us in today's celebration. I'm sure you can see the good developments since you left that have taken place in the recent past as concerns the sports facilities. This stadium, where we are today, has recently been refurbished and now ready for use by athletes, courtesy of the government of the Republic of Kenya. And for this, let me just inform you that the team we have at the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage currently has been very active, both not only in supporting the sports development, but also in every corner, going to every corner of this country in pursuit of monitoring other facilities that are intended to give sportsmen and women proper training. We want to thank the Cabinet Secretary, Chief Administrative Secretary, and the Principal Secretary for spearheading these activities for the sake of our athletes. And I can assure you, it is not just here alone. If you hear where they have been going to check these facilities from every corner of this country. Today, Kenya is an important destination in as far as major events are concerned. Within the last 15 years, we have managed to successfully pull off the 2007 World Cross Country Championships in Mombasa, 2010 African Senior Championships here at Nyayo National Stadium, and recently in 2017, World Under-18 Championships at Kasarani, and recently, 2 months ago, Kip Keino Classic Gold Tour in October this year. These are not mean achievements, and we are still going ahead to make sure that we bring others. As you heard the president of World Athletics, Lord Sebastian Coe, saying that the World Under-20 is coming here next year between 17th and 23rd of August next year. As we open a new page in the history of sport, we are hopeful that we will also have a successful World Under-20, as I've said, and we also have high hopes of backing the hosting rights of other championships. We would not want to remain there, but we have to continue so long as we are given the hosting rights, and I'm sure we will be given those hosting rights. Going forward, we intend to continue the fight against doping, improve the welfare of active and retired athletes, and expand our Athletics Kenya headquarters. We also hope to maintain the athletes database, streamline training camps, rules and regulations, and give more opportunities to women in both competitions and administration in line with the World Athletics Statutes and the Constitution of Kenya. Last but not least, I would like to state that this year has been a very difficult time owing to the COVID-19 pandemic. But we hope that next year will be more lenient. But as they say, every cloud has a silver lining. And COVID-19 has taught us to always look at the other side of the coin. I want to urge the youngsters, and particularly the young athletes today, to embrace education as a fallback and plan for future in case such situations arise, and even upon retirement. Finally, allow me to thank everyone who contributed to the success of Athletics Kenya in the last 70 years. Every one of you. And we hope to continue working together as we turn a new page in athletics. As we approach the end of this year, allow me to wish you, all of you, with your families, a Merry Christmas and a happy and rewarding New Year of 2021. I thank you for listening to me, and may God bless you. Thank you so much. It is now my honor to invite the Chief Administrative Secretary, the Ministry of Sports, Culture and Heritage, Nur Hassan Nur, to come and give his remarks and invite the Cabinet Secretary. Gus, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our Cabinet Secretary, Madam Amina, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen who are here, our heroes and heroines whom we are celebrating today. It gives me great pleasure to join all of you to celebrate this very important occasion. And I want to thank sincerely the President of Athletics Kenya for making this celebration a success and for making athletics what it is today. I want to urge all the other federations in sports that we have in this country to emulate the good example that we have seen that has been spearheaded by Athletics Kenya. Athletics Kenya is celebrating 70 years of success. It's a journey of hope. It's a journey of faith. It's a journey that has shown us that this can be achieved. And it's a journey that has coalesced all these sportsmen and women together in this single event that we have seen today. Cabinet Secretary, as we moved around today in the stands, I think the only stand where we were not shown medals earned is the stand from Northern Kenya. All the other stands, they are gold medalists, they are bronze medalists. It's only Northern Kenya. And I'm reliably informed that Mo Farah, on his way to UK, stopped at Dadaab refugee camp and trained there before he proceeded to the UK and became a sports icon. It just shows us that this country is full of talents. Senator Ongeri, you've seen the sprints from Gusii land. You've seen the medals from that region. Sports is no longer for health purpose or leisure. Sports is an investment now. And I want to urge the medals that used to come from South Nyanza. When we were at the South Nyanza stand, we were informed that they are going to take back their glory, which they lost a few years ago. And I'm sure all the other regions in the country will follow suit. To the governors who are here, I have had, on the permission of the Cabinet Secretary, I had a personal discussion with the chair of the Sports Committee in the Governor's Council, Governor Chepkony. And he is really, really a good supporter of sport within the Governor's Council. Our message to you is, in many counties in this country, sports is relegated to the lowest level within the budgetary process in the governors, in the county governments. Our prayer to you is to tell your colleagues that sports is not just what you think about. Sports is about investment. Sports is about the glory of this country. And therefore, please carry our message to them. Ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me one single pleasure to invite the Cabinet Secretary, Ambassador Amina Mohammed, who has really been a sports icon herself. Since she stepped into the ministry, we've seen sports at a different level. Ambassador Amina, please welcome.
Well, thank you very, very much, the Chief Administrative Secretary, and I am really happy that it was you who talked about the need to allocate more resources within the counties to sports, because I think it's a real issue. But let me begin by just recognizing all of you who are here, and I will begin by the president of AK, who is a dear friend of mine and who has done some amazing work for athletics in our country. Let me recognize Senator Ongeri, a dear friend, and I sometimes get confused about how I should address him. because, you know, he's been waziri, he has been, in fact, he was doctor first, medical doctor first, and then he became chairman, and then he became member of parliament, then minister, and now he's senator. So, I mean, he's got so many titles. It just shows you what an amazing contribution he has made to the development of our country. I'd like to recognize the governors who are here with us, Governor Ntai of Nyeri County and Governor Mandago of Uasin Gishu County. Let me recognize in a very special way, and I don't know whether he is down here now, Engineer Siddiqui. If he's not down here, I think he should also come down so that he is amongst the rest of us. So Engineer, please come down. Engineer Ibrahim Siddiq. Let me recognize the Athletics Kenya Executive Committee. Recognize all the legends who are here. Actually, we are all sitting and standing within greatness. A wonderful and great past that we've had, a fantastic presence right here, right now, and I know that we have an amazing future for athletics and for sports in our country. And to represent the honorable sports legends present here, just mention Dr. Kipchoge Keino, that all of us honor greatly, recognize, and appreciate. Thank you very much, son. The county government officials present, let me recognize Mr. Ogutu, Chief Special Project of Safaricom. Let me recognize a woman who has been the first Major General of our country. I truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you, General. I think that you have done an amazing job. It's wonderful to be first, but it's also amazing that you're not just first, but that you're so distinguished in all ways. So thank you very, very much for what you do for our country, for the support that you give to our athletes and our sportsmen and women that are serving within the Defense Forces. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let me recognize Paris Nduta. I think she may be here from Safaricom. Joan Mora, the CEO of Lotto, who also has been extremely supportive to all of us in times of difficulty and also in times when we are just celebrating events such as this. Dr. Paul Tergat, a friend, President of the National Olympics Committee of Kenya. Let me recognize all of you, ladies and gentlemen, all our athletes, all our heroes and heroines that are present here. I have met so many of you today, and I look forward to meeting many of you as we move forward. I also see a friend of mine, Agnes, who is the president of the Paralympics, who is present here with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here with you this afternoon on this very special occasion to commemorate 70 boundless years since Athletics Kenya was founded in 1950 under the auspices of the Kenya Amateur Athletics Association by British volunteer Sir Archie Evans alongside Sir Derek Askin. I congratulate you for elevating the image of our country, our heroes and heroines, for elevating all of us, stamping Kenya's dominance in athletics with solid resolve and consistency globally since the inception of AK. We all recall the long road that we have traveled since Kenya's debut at the Olympic Games in 1956 in Melbourne, Australia, while under colonial rule, and in 1964 at the Tokyo Olympic Games as an independent nation. The story of athletics, therefore, in our country is one that has attracted keen global scrutiny in the quest to unearth the secrets to our exceptional athleticism and winning formula. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to end the search for this formula that everybody has actually been enamored by over the years, by declaring that our great athletes have an unprecedented hunger for excellence, that they have unparalleled discipline, that they have uplifting humility, and the favor and blessing of God during creation. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyan athletes are built for excellence, with human features that allow sustained speed, long strides, great elasticity and flexibility to sustain the perfect spring on the track, and a respiratory system that is accustomed to low levels of oxygen as a result of Kenya's beautiful elevated terrain in most of our heartland. Most of all, ladies and gentlemen, a mind that is attuned to tact, to precision, to calculation, to mastery, to expansion, to accommodate intense absorption of sensory and intuitive data, and belief in ourselves and in fellow compatriots. Our athletes compete for honor, not of self, but for country. By donning their spikes, they go to war for our country, not with guns or tankers, Major General, but with a beautiful display of athletic prowess on any track in any part of our globe. There have been Kenyans flying ambassadors since independence, silencing the world to listen to our national anthem whenever they take to the track. Over the years, Kenya has won a total of 103 medals in track and field at the Olympic Games, securing the enviable position of one of the most indomitable athletic giants on earth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our heroes and heroines, these accomplishments have been made possible by the exceptional stewardship of Athletics Kenya by the Executive Committee. The intention and commitment to open athletics to national competitive trials in the selection of Team Kenya has yielded the best in our land, and it has nurtured many more who have recorded great athletic careers, not just in our country, but also abroad. In 2021, that's next year, the ministry, in conjunction with Google Arts and Culture, Google Kenya, Athletics Kenya, the National Olympic and Paralympic committees, and other partners will launch the first and the largest digital content feature on Kenyan sports ever done. It will celebrate the country's history, heritage, and excellence across disciplines, across geography, and communities. This project, which we intend to start early in 2021, will also give us a platform to store all the turning sporting moments in our history. Furthermore, it will highlight the superpowers of Kenya's athletes and show how sports can change lives and how iconic sports heroes are improving lives in their communities and pushing the known boundaries of athletic performance 1 second at a time. I invite you to fully participate in this monumental project, whose end aspiration is to create an online sports museum to share the unbounded gift of Kenya's rich sporting history with the rest of the world. Athletics Kenya remains one of the most successful sports federations in the world, having produced a galaxy of stars who have followed in the footsteps of pioneers. And we've had their names called out today many times. Nyandika Mayoro, Wilson Kiprugut Chumo, Amos Biwott, Kipchoge Keino, Naftali Temo, Naftali Bon, Ben Jipcho, Tekla Sang, Tekla Larupe, Lydia Stevens, Elizabeth Chesire, Hezekiah Nyamao, Robert Ouko, Julius Sang, and Charles Sati, among many others. Their achievements stand out, starting with Kiprugut, who was the first Kenyan to win an Olympic bronze medal in the 880 years, now 800 meters, at the 1964 Tokyo Olympic Games. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him another hand. This feat comes after Mayoro, one of the first Kenyan athletes to compete in the global contest in 1954, led the national team, comprising, again, the quartet, as they have been called. And so we also want to pay tribute to all of them. Our African ancestors reminded us that, and I'm going to quote, "A child who has washed its hands can dine with kings and queens." Indeed, As a result of this undisputable stewardship, World Athletics nominated Athletics Kenya, which is among the top 6 athletics federations in the world, for the World Federation of the Year award, a testament to the great resources Athletics Kenya has invested in managing and in developing athletics nationally, regionally, and internationally. Congratulations, Athletics Kenya. Congratulations, Mr. President. We are very proud of you. Recently, ITEN, and I think you've heard that also, was awarded the World Athletics Heritage Plaque for its outstanding contribution to worldwide history and the development of athletics. Another great indication of the global confidence in our management of sports over the years. As a ministry, ladies and gentlemen, we shall continue to jealously guide this heritage and support our athletes to compete with their continued participation at the highest levels of competitive sport across the world. It's for this reason that the government has committed to financing the 2021 World Athletics Continental Tour meeting in Nairobi against the backdrop of a very successful gold-level Continental Tour debut dubbed the Kip Keino Classic in October of this year. The success of the inaugural Kip Keino Classic on the 3rd of October, where 30 nations were in attendance, the highest global appearance on this new circuit, demonstrates our government's focus on sports development and our projected future to brand Kenya as the sporting capital of Africa, the sporting capital of our continent. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, let me remind you that the foundation of Kenya's sporting excellence is anchored on clean sport. Our efforts to weed out the isolated criminal elements advancing cheating in sport and threatening to infiltrate our training camps and residences bears great promise. We have adopted a multi-agency approach to fighting doping in the country. We will be unforgiving in the way that we deal with doping peddlers. Foreign nationals, amongst others, caught advancing this vice will be deported and they will be barred from re-entering our country. Medical practitioners will be deregistered, coaches delicensed, and managers relieved of all responsibilities. It is our duty to protect our national treasures, and we will spare no effort in this endeavor. The Anti-Doping Amendment Bill 2020, soon to be discussed in Parliament, in fact, if not this week, then next week, introduces additional measures to fight doping in our country. We will continue to expand anti-doping education, offering all the support structures necessary for athletes to declare their whereabouts and be biological passport compliant at all times. My office, indeed, the whole ministry is open for any complaints or feedback in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, as you celebrate these 70 brilliant years of consistent growth and acceleration of athletics in Kenya, I would like to offer my and the government's sincere appreciation and congratulate you for a job extremely well done. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Another round of applause, please, for our speakers today. Thank you very much. And like the president said, we are musichoke tafadhali. We are almost at the end. And in true athletics fashion, we can see the finish line. This is going to be a sprint finish. It is time for the awards. And because of time, we are not going to be able to have everybody come in front and receive their awards. So we are going to take two representatives to receive the awards on behalf of all the athletes that were invited here today. Julius Kariuki and Lydia Stevens Okech, please come I am going to request, please, Madam CS, to give this award because these two represent the heart of what Athletics Kenya does in this country. They represent the heart of sports. Yes, they do. So we can start. Ladies first. Lydia Stevens Okech, one of the first ladies to compete in the Olympics. She competed in 1968 in Mexico. So all the other athletes, please, look at the cameras, please. So that is Lydia Stevens.
Remember, we are coming to you live from Nyayo National Stadium, where Athletics Kenya celebrating 70 years of existence. It's been a very good occasion, and what we are seeing there is CS for Sports Ambassador Amina Mohammed just giving recognition certificates to some of the great heroes and heroines who've positioned this country as a sporting destination in athletics. Congratulations indeed to all who've been part of this Athletics Kenya revolution from the yesteryears of Kiprogut Chumo, Dr. Kipchoge Keino, Naftali Temo, Charles Asati, Senior Rudisha, handing over the baton to the next generation. And when we talk about the women, Tekla has been one of the best in terms of positioning the country. Rosta Tamoya, Ruth Waidera, just to mention but a few names who came up very strongly in terms of positioning this country as a strong athletics nation. Just to give you highlights of why Kenya and of course Athletics Kenya is celebrating this is it's been a very strong performance by the Kenyan team, and Athletics Kenya looked at as the best run federation in the country. Athletics Kenya producing world beaters. Just to also bring you up to speed, when we say world beaters, world records that are here in the country. Eliud Kipchoge, men's marathon 2:01:39 is a world record here in the country. We have Beatrice Jepkoech in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, also from the country here, 8:44.32 seconds. Then David Rudisha's 800 meters world record, very, very strong as well. Bridget Kosgei, marathon ladies, Paris Jepchirchir the other day, and Kibiwot Kandiye, 21 kilometers. That's world half marathon, picking it from Geoffrey Kamoror, positioning Athletics Kenya as a very, very strong athletics nation in the world, and of course positioning Athletics Kenya as a very well-run federation in the country. And just like mentioned earlier on when we started, Kenyan Olympic history, and 103 medals have been won by Kenya in the Olympics history. And just to stress the point why Athletics Kenya is strong is that of the 103, 96 medals have been from athletics. Very strong statement indeed. And just to go back, when Kenya was a powerhouse in athletics, Kenya becoming top of the world in Beijing, that's in 2015. Kenya becoming the best nation in the world in athletics, cementing Athletics Kenya's position as the best run federation in the country. And just to continue with the same there, we are seeing David Rudisha, world record holder in 800 meters, that stands one in Beijing Olympics, in London Olympics, the world record holder in 800 meters at 140.91, David Rudisha, just being recognized there. And of course, these awards are a recognition of the best and exemplary performance by some of the athletes who've positioned this country, as one of the best. David Lekuta Rudisha, world record holder in 800 meters, that stands at 140.91 seconds. Very, very good indeed to see that these athletes are still, they are very young, very jovial. They picked up the baton from the year athletes who laid the foundation, and it looks like based on that foundation, it's been very, very strong, and the present athletes have taken it over and continued cementing that foundation, being very strong and positioning Kenya as one of the best. It's actually awards time and seeing what's happening around most of these athletes just being recognized. Some are not here physically, and what you will realize is their representatives are picking their awards on their behalf. And David Rudisha actually picked Daniel Rudisha's award. Daniel Rudisha, member of the Commonwealth Games in Kingston, Jamaica, in Mexico. That was in 1966 and 1968 games. The 4x400 meters silver medal. So the athletes being recognized, some not here with us, but being represented by their family members to receive the recognition from Athletics Kenya. Very, very strong, cases there indeed in terms of just appreciating and, awarding some of the athletes who positioned this country to be a sporting destination. Athletics Kenya still regarded as one of the best, and being nominated by World Athletics to be one of the associations or the federations going for the top federation award in the world. Wishing Athletics Kenya all the best and hoping that they can scoop that award, clearly showing and demonstrating that Athletics Kenya being recognized by World Athletics, and it's just a matter of wishing them all the best and hoping that they can. Some of the partners are being appreciated there. That's a Lotto Foundation, who've really stood with Athletics Kenya in terms of support and partnering with them in their different, events that they've held. Clearly, a very good way indeed, because it's always appreciating those who've walked with you through the journey. And Athletics Kenya President, Lieutenant Retired General Jackson Tuwei there, appreciating Lotto Foundation, which is very positive indeed, just appreciating and recognizing those who've walked the journey together. And of course, there we can see that we are in tough times, and COVID-19 protocols, being taken into consideration, sanitizing and ensuring that the right things are done by Athletics Kenya as we look forward, to the next generation of everything. Speaking to some of the great stars earlier on, they were of the opinion that yes, we have reached where we are, but there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. Biggest being to ensure that doping is a thing of the past. Remember, doping at some point threatened Kenya's participation in the World Athletics, and this is something that current chairman, retired Lieutenant General Jackson Tuwei has really stressed that we must, get rid of this menace in terms of, just ensuring that the right thing to be done. As we continue watching this, shortly we will be handing you back to Broadcasting House. But still, as we continue with this, just to appreciate what Athletics Kenya has done over the years. Very interesting indeed, because this journey started in 1950 with Sir Archie Evans along with Sir Derek Eskin, first chairman in 1950, clearly showing that the foundation that was put there has been one that, demonstrated that it was a good one. And since then, we've never looked back as a country, and Athletics Kenya, took up the mantle. Some of the great athletes who've graced this occasion here today. We have Paul Tergat, who is the National Olympic Committee of Kenya president. Currently, we've seen the great Julius Kariuki, 1984, only gold medal winner in the 3,000 steeplechase. That's 1984 Olympics. We also have John Ngugi, five-time, world cross-country champion here in the country, also, being recognized and appreciated for all the good work. And as we look at all this, clearly showing that the Yester athletes have come a long way in being part of this. Douglas Waikuhuri,
Ni mimi.
Ulitoa pikipiki?
Mulitani sitaomoka.
Ni yako?
Hii nduti ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit.
Quickbit?
Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder.
399 shillings.
Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua shilingi 2 unaweza nunua micro. Shilingi 5 unaweza nunua hata gari.
So tupeleke huko hata
mtu aendi huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quickbit, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
Tonight on KBC Channel 1.
Baby, when the bright lights start to fade, fire up your lighter, float on with the wave.
I love my girl to some reggae. It's been a long day. Taxi driver want to top me here like me no know.
Ni mimi.
Ulitoa pikipiki?
Mulitani sitaomoka.
Ni yako?
Hii nduti ni yangu. Niliwahi pale Quickbit.
Quickbit?
Quickbit imekuja kusaidia wananchi kama sisi. Nilinunua 399 shillings juu nilikuwa the lowest unique bidder.
399 shillings.
Quickbit shilingi moja unaweza nunua shilingi 2 unaweza nunua micro. Shilingi 5 unaweza nunua hata gari.
So tupeleke huko hata
mtu aendi huko.
Jiunga na Quickbit ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bidi yako ya chini zaidi. Kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bidi yako pia kwenye www.quickbit.co.ke. Kumbuka, bidi ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. Quickbit, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
As it revolves around the equator and where it is positioned in space, it is positioned like that.
So it's a bit funny that
so the axis,
yes,
the line that is cutting through from here down to the South Pole is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees.
23.5 degrees.
23.5 degrees. So the angle of inclination of the Earth's axis from perpendicular,
is
23.5
degrees. And there's something now, when you're saying that down the earth is tilted, it's funny that while we're walking, we are not tilted in a way. What now makes us...
But you see, but you remember that there's the force of gravity which is keeping us upright.
So without the force of gravity...
If you were to look at this, we are somewhere here. So it means that we are standing somehow like that. Yet we are still upright.
Wow.
So it is the force of gravity that is working.
Wow.
Now, let us also go on to the size of the Earth in comparison with other planets.
Yes.
You see, we have also to look at it in comparison with other planets.
So now this is the globe, the Earth, and now we are inside there.
Are we inside?
We're talking about the outer. This is the outer. The way I'm looking at it.
But we are out.
We're out
on the surface. How can we be inside there?
So it's not like it's a ball or something that we're inside.
No, we are on the surface.
So we're talking now about this Earth compared to the other.
Compared to the other.
Okay.
The size now compared to the other planets.
Yes.
That is why we have our model here. Showing the different planets that we have. You can see. If we were to look at the Earth, it comes 5th largest.
Oh, 5th largest.
Yes, because we have the largest being Jupiter. And then we have Saturn. And then we have Uranus. Then we have Neptune. And then finally, where we are, Earth. So it is the 5th largest planet. And then we have the smaller ones, that is Venus, Mars, and
Mercury. I might want just to ask, so we've talked about this being a bit tilted. Are there? Do the same apply to the others?
Yes, there's also some planets that
also
are tilted.
like
Not
which one?
Like, for example, when you look at Saturn, it is not exactly, like upright.
Upright, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Even Jupiter is tilted,
It's tilted.
at some angle.
Wow.
Yes, but you see, when we are drawing it on a flat surface like this, we may not necessarily. Yes,
look
but
at
if we
see
had
that.
a globe like this one, then at least it will give us an idea that it is tilted. But we don't have a globe for Neptune, Uranus, and so forth.
Wow. So maybe we might talk. Maybe now talk about where the Earth rotates around the sun. That's what.
Yes, the Earth rotates around the sun. Rotates or revolves?
Or revolves.
Last time we
I know.
revolves. The rotation is this one. But the Earth revolves around the sun. Yes.
So are there maybe names we have? What is the distance between now where?
Oh yes, the distance between the Earth in comparison to the sun. That is why we need maybe these things so that we can be able to demonstrate the.
Although our time is moving, but I hope we will be able to get it right. Thank you.
So now we are talking about